Hello, people. My name is Detroit Miracle, and I'm coming to you from my very own spot. Well, folks, it seems like wars are at an all time high right now in this day and age. First, we had the Russian and Ukrainian war, which is still ongoing. Now we have the war between the Arabs and Jews. Yep, most unfortunate again. Now they say that, of course, the Arabic Jewish war has been going on for hundreds of years, and it's over the prime real estate being that in Jerusalem. That is what they all want, so to speak. Usually wars are fought over land, and because land is very valuable and it always has been. But in the Arab Jewish war, it is said that that particular land in Israel and Jerusalem is supposed to be holy and sacred. But if it was so holy and sacred, then why kill over it? Why spill blood on it? Go figure. Okay, now, on the other hand, with the Russian Ukrainian war, I figure that the Russian Prime Minister or President Vladimir Putin wants to establish the Soviet Union again and conquer the neighboring countries. Remember, it was a Soviet Union a long time ago throughout the 70s, 80s, and probably before that. But at some point, it got broken up, and then it became a region of different countries over in Europe. Yeah, so countries sort of had their independence, but there was still Russia. And Russia was usually and always has been the most dominant of the countries over in that regions. So you figure that if they can conquer Ukrainian and get Ukrainian back under, or Ukraine back under their umbrella, it becomes a part of Russia again. And then next, you would go into neighboring countries and do the same thing in order to establish the once and again dominant Soviet Union, which struck terror by mere mention of it back in the 80s, back in the Cold War days when, there was a big thing between the Soviet Union and the United States to see who could get the most nuclear missiles or something like that. But at some point, when the Soviet Union was broken up, then they were not such a crucial threat anymore, or so it was thought. So, it's speculation a bit that Ukrainian Russian war is over that, but what else could it be? Another theory is that there is a lot of oil in that region. It is proven that the Soviet Union or the Russia and regions over there have a lot of oil. So it's probably all over the place in that part of Europe. So if you conquer it, one king, one president, one dictator, if he could bring it all under his thumb, then he would have a surplus of trillions of dollars worth of oil. It is even speculated that over there by Russia and all down that way, they have more oil than the Middle East does. Yeah, that's shocking to even conceive that that's possible. So when other countries run down on their reserves, then Russia could be the next superpower globally just off of that fact that they have the most surplus of oil, the most amount, so they can sell it for any price that they want. They can make deals, make trades, and do whatever they want. So that is another idea speculated that war with Russia and Ukraine might be over that. It's possible. Now getting back to the Middle Eastern War between the Arabs and the Jews. Look, it is a long-standing thing. When you look overall, Arabs and Jews are very prosperous. They have businesses all over the world. So you would say that, can they really ever be content? And, if you sought out and obtained prosperity, then why even seek the route of conflict at all? The main thing is making sure that you're comfortable and your families are. You want to have peace for your families and your society. You don't want things war torn. You don't want things conflicting happening around them. You don't want violence because everyone has kids, children. You want things to be safe for them when they go outside to play and go to school. So why do certain factions and people take the most violent approach to things in order to resolve their differences rather than just sitting down and talking about it? Because, hey, once you attack somebody, they're going to attack you back. And then when you attack somebody first and they attack you, then you can't play the victim because people aren't going to be as sympathetic to your plight because they're going to say, well, if you never would have attacked them, then they wouldn't have attacked you back. And then we know it's terrible unfortunates that happen where women and children are always caught in a crossfire. When countries are shooting missiles and bombs at each other, those things aren't always guided and controlled. So they hit hospitals, they hit schools, they hit grocery stores, and we know women and children shop at those places and are there because women take their children, and in fact, whole families take their kids to shop. That is warfare, true and simple. People, when there is a war on a large scale, then the enemies in opposition to one another aren't just going to seek out military targets to attack. They're going to bomb residential communities, hospitals, parks, themes, and everything else. In warfare, there is no honor. You can't expect people to be honorable because they're going to seek to win at all costs. That's crazy. It is. I know there's always a civilized approach to take. And look, all countries got laws, all countries got guidelines and standards for the populations to follow. So if any Joe Blow or Jane Doe goes out and commits a crime, then they will lock them up, because they took the uncivil approach. So that, their prisons are full of people in every country that didn't follow the laws or didn't follow the rules. So why would those very countries go out and commit horrendous crimes like that by bombing and killing tens of thousands and stuff? But they would lock their citizens up for committing lesser crimes, such as in the case with murder, drugs, robbery, and etc. So those countries do not set the standards on behavior as far as them showing the general population that they could take a dignified, peaceful approach to resolve those conflicts or resolve the situations before they escalate into conflicts. Yeah, people, it's crazy. In a minute, I think the people in general of the population are going to have to take control over the situations because their so-called leadership has behaved most irresponsibly. So they're not worthy of the people's respect and appreciation. And they're not worthy enough to be in power because they jeopardize their populations, by behaving barbaric and uncivil like. Yeah, folks, that's my take on it. But what do you think? I'd appreciate it now if you would send me those comments in and let me know where you're thinking at or where your thoughts, reflection are regarding these recent wars that have popped up out of nowhere. I'd appreciate it if you would give me likes, share this video, and please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Thank you and good night.